everyone, it's Tammy, and I know that I'm looking awfully good. That's because it's cleaning day here at the old Thompson Corral, and I had posted that I have made homemade laundry detergent, and someone had said that they'd like to see how to do that, and today's the day because I have to make some because we are out, and I hate to get totally out, and I wish I would have known so that we could have made some prior to now, but that's okay. I have to make some because it's nice for it to sit for 24 hours prior to using it, but it's not essential. So let me get started and I'll show you what we need to do. So these are the ingredients. You need borax, which is a detergent booster. I get this, I think all of this came from Walmart, and this is the 4-pound 12-ounce size. You only use a cup, so you use a cup of this, which is Arm & Hammer super washing soda, and you have to make sure that you use the washing soda. And then the Biz, which is also it's kind of like OxyClean. If you wanted to use OxyClean, you could too. This is just cheaper. And let me show you how this comes. You open this up and it just looks like this. And I use a cup of that as well. So I use a cup, and then I use some either, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Fels Naptha, or there's some pink, I think it's called Zoot, or let's see, do I have, yeah, there's the Fels Naptha. This one is a Myers brand. I like her. I got her. I don't know that she's a her, but I like this brand too. I got this at Target. And you just need, I like to kind of mix it, and I just use a couple of chunks of both of them. You use about a bar of soap, and then a cup of each of those in a 5-gallon bucket. And I just use a 5-gallon bucket that I've been using for a while that has just homemade soap in it, and we just put this in the garage and it collects dust, but it still works. So the first thing you need to do is, you can either grate this or just cut it into chunks and then put it on the stove with 4 cups of water and let it melt. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will show you. But I don't shave it. I don't grate it. Some people have like a grater that they use only for soap, which would be fine too. I just never did that, so I just cut it into little chunks and melt it. So I'll get started with that. Okay, I know it's probably kind of loud in here. I just added the soap. I just added enough chunks to kind of make it a bar, and I mixed the kinds that I have. I thought I had some Zoot too, but I apparently don't, and that's okay. And then I'm just now filling my 5-gallon bucket with a little bit of water, probably about a quarter, just enough so that I can still put a wooden spoon in there and mix it around. So that's all that's in here, in the leftover soap from last time, and it actually smells really good. And this does make your house smell really good. If you wanted to add an essential oil, you could, but it's not something that you have to do. So I'm just going to stir this around a little bit. My chunks are already getting smaller. I didn't put really small chunks in because it really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do now is I will take a cup of each of my 3, the Biz, which is awfully close, and the washer soap, and the borax, and I will just go ahead and put those into this. So here we go. I'm just taking the little scoop that's in this one, and I think that this is a cup, which is a little more than a cup, so. And I'm just pouring that in, and then I will do the same with the other 2. And it's kind of hard to do it with one hand, so I'll just do it off the air. The Arm & Hammer washing, and this is the borax, and I will just pour that in. I'm just putting that back into that one. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to take my wooden spoon, and I will stir this around. And I'm using really hot water so that it will dissolve. If you wanted to even use boiling water, you could. And you can look online for different recipes. I know that there are some. I know that some people don't use the OxyClean or the Biz in this case. Some people put in essential oil to make it smell whatever, however they want to make it smell, lilac or whatever, which is very nice. I just don't mind the smell of this. It just smells clean. I even like the smell of the Zoot because it's pink and it makes it pink, which I just like because I like pink, but it's not necessary, obviously. And I didn't measure 4 cups, just so you guys know. I know I said to put this in 4 cups of water, but I didn't measure it. I just put it in my little pan and put some water in it. I mean, all you're really trying to do is get it to melt. And you just stir it around. And I know that this saves a ton of money. I would say all of the ingredients total were less than 15 bucks easy. And I don't even know how many washings it does. I mean, it will do, I mean, you saw how much I use. I use a cup of each of these, and I don't know how many cups is in this, if it even tells you. No, I don't see it, but I mean, this makes a ton. And I think that someone had figured it out before, and it comes to about $2 for the 5-gallon bucket, which fills my other, like I just use a Tide dishwasher or dishwashing. I just refill that, you know, like the regular Tide or whatever kind I have. I don't even know if it's Tide. It could be Era or something, but I just refill that. And I can't even tell you how many times it fills it up. Probably 5 or 6 times at least. Well, I guess it depends on how many. If that's a gallon bucket, then it would be 5. That would make sense. But anyway, it's like $2 for the whole thing. So you are saving a ton of money. It's like 19 cents a load or something. I don't know what they figured out, but I know one time I looked it up and it was way cheap. And I really like it. I know that people have done stain comparisons, and this gets stains out just like everything else. I mean, think about the olden days. They didn't have all the fancy stuff. They just made everything, and it works. So I kind of just like it because I feel like I'm doing something nice for my family. It makes me feel good to be able to do some homemade stuff like my parents and grandparents used to do. So that's why I do it. I'm just going to let this melt and I will be back. Alright, you can see that there's still a little bit of chunk in there, so I am just letting it boil, but it's almost done. I also have a tea kettle of water that's boiling on the stove, or getting ready to boil on the stove. I'm not very patient, so I sometimes don't wait for this to melt all the way, but you really should because it's probably not going to melt much more in the container. It will a little bit, but... And this has been on the stove probably, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I've just been stirring it periodically, and I have it on a medium-high heat. It will boil over if you have it too high or unattended for too long. There's some chunk I see. Let's see how big those chunks are. I'm trying to pick one up. Oh, they aren't very big. I guess that's why they're hard to pick up. So I'm just going to stir a little longer. Oh, that one's kind of large. It's less than a pat of butter, but it's still bigger than I want. Of course, I'm trying to hurry because I need to take a shower, and my daughter has something that's going on tonight, and I want to be ready for that. So, of course, I'm in a hurry. And we need laundry detergent, otherwise I could do this a different day, but we have to do laundry. So I'm just stirring away. If any of you guys have tried this, or if you do try it, or if your grandparents or parents used to do it, send me a message or comment below and let me know if this is the same recipe they used or what they did. Okay, I can hear the kettle boiling, so I'm just going to call this good. And I'm going to turn off this. I'll let that, well, I can hear it boiling, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this very hot mixture over to my 5-gallon bucket that I have in the sink. And I'm just going to pour it in. And then I'm going to this aside, and I'm going to stir all of this. And I'm going to, this is probably just a quarter of the way full, so I'm going to turn this a little bit and move my thing out so that I can pour this hot water in. I'm going to let this get hot also, because the hotter the water that you put in here, the better you'll be. So, still not yet. No, not yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tea kettle water, and I'm going to pour that in. A little bit more just because I don't like to have an empty tea kettle on the stove. So I'll put that back on the stove, and then I'm going to take my soapy pan and just fill that up with water and put that in. And I'll do that again and again, probably just to fill this up and to get the soap residue out of my pan. But first I'm going to stir. So this is a really easy process. It's not hard at all, but it just takes a little bit of time. And that's it, guys. I mean, really, we've already made the soap. Now this is really hot, so I'm going to just take this and fill it up, just to kind of help get some of that soap out of there. And then I'm just going to pour it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put more water in here. Sorry. My bucket is too big to fit underneath. So I'm just going to fill it up to about this line, and then I'll stir some more, and that's it, folks. I'll put my lid back on, and if you can find a gallon bucket with one of these things, it's really nice, but you don't have to have that. I bought this 5-gallon bucket specifically for laundry detergent, so that's why I have one like this. I think actually I spent $25 on my first thing of laundry detergent and included the bucket, and it was full of detergent. And then since then I've just made my own, and that first one was supposed to be tied. I don't know if it really was or not, but we'll assume that it was. And then I will, I'll let this cool. And again, you should wait 24 hours, but I don't have time to do that this time. And I'll just have my husband move it to the garage because it is very heavy. But good thing he has the Anaconda arms. Sorry, I think I turned it off and that's it. So I'm just stirring this a little bit more and turn off the water, and it is ready to go. So that's it, guys. I hope that you try this, and if you do, I hope that you like it. And I think you would. I don't know anybody that's ever tried it and doesn't like it. It's great stuff. So, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. If you need anything else, or if you have any other video suggestions, let me know.